This question is asking us to represent certain regions on a graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rule up my 4 beautiful axes and then I'll answer the question. So now I'm ready to go. The first graph is the area where x is less than 1. So if I'm looking at an area where x is less than 1, and I'll do this one in blue, then here is where x is 1, which means anything to the left of this line, and that should be a straight line, indicates where x is less than 1. So let's straighten that up and we will start ruling what it looks like. Oops, that's not good either, is it? So let's really straighten it up properly. Get out our ruler, put in the line, and all this region, this side, is where x is less than 1. Now the only thing I haven't done that I need to do is when I have a solid line, that means that it also includes my area where x equals 1. But this isn't equals 1. So I'm going to write here in solid, my solid line includes. This doesn't include this area. So what that means is that I need now to rub out part of it to make this a dotted line. And now that that's a dotted line where x equals 1, this area here is where x is less than 1. My next one, x greater than -2. Now you can see here I've got an equal sign. So that means it's greater than or equals to, which means my point of -2 is included in this graph. So get out my ruler, x is -2 is going to be somewhere like this, and therefore my region is going to be this region here in green, and this line here is where x equals -2. And you'll notice that I haven't rubbed out part of that line, or I haven't dotted it out. That's because x is included. My third one, y is greater than or equal to 1. I'm going to do this one in yellow. First of all, I'll get out my ruler and I'll make sure that I know what y is 1 about here. So my line for y's is going to go across. And I know that this point here is going to be, the line's going to be y equals 1. It includes, so I've got a solid line, so my area is going to be above that. Anywhere above that will be included. And my last one is y is less than 0. And I'll do this one in orange. Now, here we have another one where we don't have it including, which means my line y equals 0 right on this x-axis. So I need to draw a dotted line where y equals 0, and it's less than that, so it's all this area here. So that's how I sketch regions, and I can do that by either using my knowledge, or I can also get out my calculator. If I'm going to get out my calculator, I need to go to the graph and table section. And here I have the option of entering equations. Now what I'll do is where I have this line of x is less than 1, so let's do part A on the calculator, then what I will do is I'll hit this bit here that says y equals, and I'll make it x is less than. Then it changes all the variables, but that's okay, and I'll write x is less than 1, I'll tick it, and I'll hit go. And you can see what happens is it colours in the area where x is less than 1. For my y is greater than 1, for example, I'll untick that. I'll go down to y is greater than or equals to, because that's what part C says, greater than or equals to. I'll change my number and I'll write y is greater than or equals to 1. I'll tick that and get it to sketch, and look, there we have my calculator showing me regions. So I can check that my regions are correct using my calculator, or realistically, I can use my calculator to help me sketch regions.